Get cozy everybody, because they will continue on the game called Danganronpa Single File. Where were we? Here? There you go. Log terminated. And prologue. Despair for the artificial age. And okay. We ended that. Did you fully witness the execution like you wanted to? If not, use mouse wheel to scroll backwards and once again. It's easy to click through by accident. Now, please choose a file to access. Bonus options unlocked by logic score can only be viewed from this menu, so it is recommended to view these before proceeding to the next chapter. Okay, let's save here first though. Boop. Yeah. Return. Logic 80. Ultimate Observation Report number 1. Accessing log. Ultimate Observation Report number 1. Over here, Zadie.
You have it!
Finally, we have a chance to chat away from the others. Although I heard the suspect association is unclear to them. You can't imagine how surprised I was to see you're here. I thought you were even deeper undercover than I was. It's been 3 years since I last saw you. I'm just as surprised as you are to think my little sister would wind up here. It's unthinkable that the two of us were abducted into the same killing game by chance. I have to wonder if there's someone inside our organization behind all of this. That would be inconvenient, actually. It will lower the number of potential suspects tremendously. But joking aside...
my.
That was a joke? Pardon, humor isn't one of my specialties. I wish that this reunion of ours was under better circumstances. Of course, you probably noticed by now that no one else from our organization are among the 16 captives. So it isn't quite as easy as I'd implied it might be. That said, this appears to be a successful test of the drug R&D cooked up. We seem to be, for the lack of technical term, amnesia-proof. I suspect that you were keenly aware of the details surrounding killing games before the bear announced them. You knew Monokuma would appear.
You have it!
I suppose so. Without seeing your face and having not met you for 3 years now, it's difficult for me to confirm you're really my brother. I'm a bit on edge. Are you willing to show me your face first then?
I think not.
That's my sister. The others must be suspicious of us as well. I wouldn't blame them if they're having a hard time trusting a pair of spies with covered faces. Speaking of which, what do you make of the other participants? I say pretty much your average cast of abductees for a murder game, all except for that one, the prisoner. His behavior extremely strange. He's almost like a zombie. I haven't heard him say a word since I got here. I'm waiting for him to prove he's even human. His actions, or lack thereof, are making him more suspicious by the minute. One to keep an eye on, I'd say. If I get a chance, I'll try to plant a bug on him so we can track his movements.
I think not.
Careful how you do it. I know you outrank me, but I'd rather you not act without telling me. The mastermind is going to do everything in his power to take us out of the game early. I'm sure he or she can come up with an excuse for both of us to die. Relax. I'll use the utmost caution. I'm the ultimate spy master for a reason, you know? I'll be on top of it, and now you're not. You're on top of a fucking grave. Yeah, the ground is on top of you. Let's rendezvous in the... spell rendezvous. Let's rendezvous in the morning. Plan your actions for the next day and we'll discuss them privately after breakfast. Good night for now, Zadie. Zeta. You must have noticed just now, despite a lifetime of singularly focused training designed to prepare for me for this one moment.
Despair!
I can't stop shivering when I think about being forced to kill someone. I'm just as helpless as the civilians out there. I don't want to die in here, and I don't want to become a murderer to escape. I feel like a fool for thinking I'd be ready when the time came. No, it's an insult for the whole organization for me to act this way. I'm undoubtedly on camera. Whoever's watching this,
You have it!
I'll prove my conviction to you in time. Logic 50, Biographer's Report number 1. Thank you again for allowing me to observe this project of yours, Mr. Leeds. I know you're a busy man and also a man so suspicious of the general population that he lives inside a secret laboratory without a soul for company. Right. Those misgivings of yours are entirely understandable. The world is a dangerous place these days. Trust is not easily earned. I suppose that what makes you the ultimate biographer, isn't it? Your ability to make me trust you enough to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets is impressive. I'm flattered, but my own biography can wait until I make the late career shift to ultimate memoir writer. For now, we're here to talk about you, Victor Leeds, called the Ultimate Researcher. Could you elaborate on what the title means to you?
I am the ultimate researcher. It's my duty to study the killing games and ultimately end them.
Okay, sir. Making people participate in the killing game so that you can end killing games. Huh. Something wrong there. Killing games are the favorite tool of the Ages of Despair. There can be no more noble goal than stopping them for good. Still, I find the title of yours curious. How does one count to be the ultimate researcher? Why not, for instance, the ultimate roboticist? You are known as a world leader in the advancement of that field.
Very well.
Why yes, I could very well be considered the ultimate roboticist. However, the importance of my research eclipses my skill with developing automatons. Referring to me as the ultimate roboticist would be like referring to the ultimate rugby player as the ultimate athletics sponsorship recipient. He or she may deserve both titles, but only one title can be considered most appropriate. Nothing matters more to me than my research of the killing games. I now devote my every waking hour to studying them. Yeah, we've all been deeply and personally affected by them. Most of us can think of a friend or loved one who has been a victim of despair's attacks, with the highest profile cases being those abducted for the games. We all want a quick solution to end their plans. Nothing so convenient exists, of course. That said, you have a rather innovative plan for the next step of hope to fight back against despair. It'll be generations before the public knows of this top secret project. I'm proud to be here recording its progress at the very groundbreaking moment. I can see you're shivering with anticipation. Please, on the record, tell me the premise of the project designed to put an end to the killing games.
Very well.
Of course, the project's codename is SINGLEFILE. We'll refer to it as that from here on out. The primary advantage contributing to the success enjoyed by the Ages of Despair is the element of surprise. My unique simulation. It's kinda weird to me that his face is blacked out, but we can see his face here anyway, so what's the deal with that? My unique simulation will anticipate and counter all permutations of the killing game. It will solve for each with minimal possible casualties while maximizing benefits to our cause. Mining data from the simulation is already well underway, and that data is nearly ready to be applied. The cycle time is minimal. Many concurrent trials can be run in the span of just a week. I believe we should have enough data before the end of this year to harvest the fruits of this project. So, you believe the killing game problem will be resolved within a year's time?
Very well.
Precisely, the code will be correct and the advantage will belong once again to civilized society. Precisely, their code will be correct and the advantage will belong once again to civilized society. I'm looking forward to an end to wanton murder and a return to normalcy. In the future, we would all welcome Mr. Leeds. If I may ask one more question before we break for lunch, are you at all concerned that your research might make you and your assistant targets of actions by the Ages of Despair? There's another key to fight against despair, you know. You must fight back against despair with fervor equal to their own. In the name of hope, my assistant and I are ready to fight like no one before us. Our total secrecy and tireless work are in service of these causes. Frankly, if I can be targeted, I'd say no one in the world is safe. How inspiring. Thank you again for this enlightening first interview. I look forward to our time together here. By the way, when will I be meeting this research assistant of yours? In due time, even more so than I. They're not the talkative type. For now, you must try my ultimate soft-serve ice cream machine, the fruit of a renowned genius's downtime. It's odd, I heard you are a bit of a recluse, a paradoxical man who hates humanity despite trying to save it. That's not the impression I get when I speak with you.
Very well.
Not quite. Allow me to correct your misperception. I don't hate humanity at large. I simply feel uncomfortable around other human beings. Too unpredictable, prone to fits of error and emotion. The civilization we surround ourselves with only makes it worse. The human mind is what the Empire of Despair sprang up from, after all. Truly, we are the most fearsome of all species, so hideously capable of satisfying our wildest, most grotesque indulgences. For a long time now, the worst egos among us have run amok, doing whatever they see fit. It's enough to think of the human condition as a curse. Speaking to you here in my laboratory, however, surrounded by my favorite machines, makes you feel much more at ease. So you fancy machines?
Now see here!
Feels like you're trying to trick me to embarrassing myself with that statement. I see right through it. Haha, you really are eccentric, aren't you? I prefer to be called a genius. Where the human mind fails and the human will falters, machines can be made infallible. Thanks to that, single file will be a success. Single file will be... Fuck. What? Single file... Ah, fuck. Whatever. Just pause it. I can't read it. Ultimate Researcher's Despair View. Okay, greetings. If you're watching this instructional video, you've taken your first steps towards defending yourself against the machinations of the Agents of Despair. But you must be so confused. Who are the Agents of Despair? What do they want? How do we defeat them? This video will explain all of that and more. Remember, there are no stupid questions. This knowledge will help you to survive these dark times we find ourselves in. What we'd like to learn about. What are ultimates? We know this, but okay. First off, to understand despair, we must understand the world of ultimates. The word refers to those people who show extraordinary abilities, the highest of their field. They're often treated as celebrities, but nowadays their cultivation and protection is of greater importance than ever before. This is because they are often targeted and taken captive for killing games, likely to deal with the greatest damage to the collective morale of the public. An ultimate can be anything from an athlete to a soldier, a specialist at games, or a prolific inventor. Such gifts are rare, and their development is vital to rebuild our current world. Without their great minds and abilities, society will fall to ruin. These days, a society called the Future Foundation decides who is an ultimate. Of course, ultimates sometimes go unidentified, but such a case is extremely rare. If you can hide your ability that well, it's probably not the ultimate of its kind, right? At any rate, ultimate level talent is a blessing and a curse for those who have it. The ultimates are likely the key to humanity's salvation, but they also have a target painted on their chest that despair loves to take aim at. What is despair? You must ask yourselves, what is despair? The opposite of hope. The word refers broadly to a movement started by Junko Enoshima, the ultimate despair. As the first despair, she created the first killing game, although there's a very real possibility that she began sowing the seeds of her revolution before that time. House Peak Academy, meant to be a starting point for ultimate level students, served as the stage for a bloody first strike. 16 students were assembled under the premise of a new type of survival game, which asked them to kill each other for a chance to escape. The deaths of 10 individuals are directly tied to this game, not counting the headmaster's murder before the game's start. One of those deaths was that of Junko Enoshima herself. She abided by the rules of her game and took her own life. One might hope that would have spelled the end of despair, but no one could have anticipated how far her claws were already dug into society. Followers popped up across the globe, while all kinds of terrorism is committed. The most popular form is abductions bridging into killing games. Copycat killers mimicking the work of their idol. But why would they do it? Why did Junko Enoshima do it? The answer is grotesque and simple. Excitement. All they crave is the excitement and ecstasy of seeing someone wallow in a form of misery most humans would never ordinarily experience. They're just like mad scientists breaching codes that ought to have never been breached. Some even mutilate themselves in their pursuit. Now that the genie's out of the bottle, and a certain element of humanity has submitted to despair, every day is a struggle to preserve civilized society. That's where the concept of hope comes in. What is hope? Oh wait, here we go. Boop. Hope is nothing so flashy as despair. It simply refers to the active movement against despair schemes. Several societies now act against them. If you're watching this, chances are you're part of one of those yourself. The largest is the Future Foundation, made up of remnants from Host Peak Academy students and faculty. Here at my secret laboratory, I as well act in the service of hope, working to bring an end to the killing games. But what can you do? First off, resist the siren call of despair. It's not your salvation, nor is it your calling. It's a form of madness lower than that of a wild animal's motivations. Watch for telltale signs in your friends. Are they keeping secrets from you? Has their behavior changed? Do they disappear for long periods of time? Report any such suspicions to your local authorities for the good of us all. If the worst should come to pass and you're abducted into a killing game, you may find yourself unable to remember or act in the service of hope. That's why it's important to be vigilant beforehand. Stop the mastermind before they start. We would like to learn about killing games. The killing games are the ultimate tool of despair. Many students are directed and forced to kill one another in the desperate game. The games are broadcast using a series of cameras and microphones hidden or otherwise, and used to invoke despair among the masses. For you see, the hopelessness of the killing game is exactly what despair needs to indoctrinate more to its cause. The proceedings are usually attended by a toy-like machine. The black and white bear, Monokuma, oversees most of the killing games. He is not a living creature but rather a robot remotely controlled by the mastermind. The rules of the killing game may vary, but generally they stick close to those of the founding game, set by the Ultimate Despair. Rule number 1, sadism aside, all events goal leaving happens in an acceptable use of time. Rule 2, 9 times when we know this. Rule 3, sleeping anywhere, yeah we know this. Rule 4, I don't want to waste everyone's breath. 5 violence against Monokuma, yep. Anyone who kills fellow student becomes the black end. Okay. Rule 8, once the murder takes place, the class trial will begin shortly. Rule 9, if the guilty power is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. Rule 10, the guilty... Hey, we know! Fuck! Okay, we get it. I'm just fed up with reading the goddamn fucking rules every fucking Danganronpa fan game. Shit! It's all the same anyway. Fuck. God. From the sounds of these, one may think, but why would anyone kill to escape? Surely they can resist temptation. Throughout the game, Monokuma pushes the captives along using unpredictable motivations designed to spur particular captives to action. The thing that pisses me off about these rules, they don't really, I mean, they're the rules, right? So yeah, but they're barely used in the trial at all. Barely. Sometimes they're used, oh yeah, it's a reminder that cafeteria is closed during 10 p.m, yada yada. But other than that, nothing. Nothing never gets brought up ever again, so what's the point? Ordinarily, rational human beings would never commit violence, may be driven to murder to protect themselves or their loved ones. It's a despicable act that more often than not results in large numbers of deaths in a single killing game. If a killing game reaches just 2 survivors, both are released. The number of captives who have returned from killing games alive is strikingly few compared to the number of those abducted. I hope that you'll never need to consider the inner workings of a killing game, but be aware that amnesia is another frequent aspect of these killing games. Participants often have a huge chunk of their own memories overwritten or stolen. There may only be so much of these lessons you can carry in with you, so to speak. But as the ultimate researcher, I believe we should all be educated in their workings. Stay safe out there. Back to the end of prologue menu. Proceed to chapter 1. Proceed. Now accessing. Chapter 1. Despair for the survivors. What an awful dream. I've been working too many long nights. Do you think I'd see myself dissected like one of my own fuck. I always struggle saying automatons. Automatons, automatons. While that lackey of despair sneers at me. My only solace is that it was just that, a dream. Such hideous work as my own research into the killing games certainly brings its share of terror. Small surprise, it's linking into my dreams as such. Thankfully, unlike poor Clef, I can feel each of my limbs attached at its proper place. That said, I still feel a sense of unease. It's as though I've awoken late for some appointment of great importance. What was I doing just before I fell asleep? I remember falling asleep alone. As always, I just pull an all-nighter working on SINGLEFILE. It's much better to work during the night. It's quiet, it's cool, it's peaceful. Unlike in the morning where everyone's fucking busy, you just want everyone to shut the fuck up and focus on their work. An important project that's necessitated some long hours. I'm too groggy to remember where I left off. There will be time enough for that once I get up and have a spot of breakfast. Did I fall asleep in my laboratory? I suppose that would be like me. However, I feel as though I'm atop one of my machine's assembly slabs rather than at my desk. What the devil do I make of this? It's a lucky thing my work is solitary. No one can be allowed to see such ludicrous behavior from the ultimate researcher. Is this... Something's very off here. The laboratory itself is as I remember it, but several details are way off. Am I still dreaming? What's off in here? I don't know. I just got here. Let's see. Security cameras, missing robot, someone's been here, strange device on my face. I don't know. I see. Security cameras in 2 corners in the room, covering both entrances and next on the swivel. Never installed anything like that. This is, after all, a hidden laboratory. The secrecy of its location has traditionally been only means of security required. The presence of unwanted cameras, it brings to mind the killing games organized by the Ages of Despair. Is someone else here on the island? It couldn't be.
Impossible.
I prefer to research the killing games at a distance, not firsthand. Messing robots. Where the blazes have all my automatons gone off to? Did I deploy them all or put them into storage? Quite certain there were several positioned in the testing base before I fell asleep. Were they all simultaneously activated to a stage walkout? What? What are they unionizing?
Now see
Oh,
here!
unionizing. Unionizing. Holy shit. Is this the beginning of the robot uprising? I should calm down. Got plenty to worry about without making up nonsensical hypotheticals, don't I? But I'm right to be at least a little worried. Those missing automatons represent years of labor and research, not to mention finances. Someone's been here. There are a few things that seem to have moved just slightly out of position. My chair, for instance, has been moved to the diagnostic console. I'm not the kind of idiot who'll fail to notice when some interloper has used his favorite chair. This can only be the work of an intruder.
Impossible.
Is someone really in here? It's a good thing I've only been shouting inside my head so far. I haven't actually been shouting out loud, have I? Strange device on my face. What the devil is this on my face? I feel that it's composed of a glass, about the size of my eye, and connected about my ear by a metal band, but...
Impossible.
The thing actually feels as though it's rooted into my skull at the base. How? How did someone install this without waking me? I want to try and take it off to analyze it further, but I can't so much as remove it. If I can make it to my restroom, there should be a mirror that will allow me to inspect this bloody thing. Though it feels like surgeries to remove it would be better done by a machine, preferably under anesthesia, rather than by the patient himself, viewed inverted in a bloody lavatory mirror. At least this blasted gizmo doesn't impair my vision. Investigate the prisons. Never mind all of that. What matters is tracking down whoever's behind these disturbances. But why did they leave me sleeping? And how could they change so much of the laboratory without making me? Whoever was here, they probably didn't stick around. I'm sure they're monitoring me remotely.
Now see here!
If those cameras are a sign I've been abducted into some sort of killing game, then why am I still in my own laboratory? Or is this simply a recreation? I have to check the rest of the laboratory. It's not a lot of ground to cover. All my experiments, in progress and completed alike, were kept inside a single room. If the only other rooms attached here are my living quarters and the server room, I'll check my quarters first. It's a simple knob, and yet
Now see here!
it won't budge. Blast! My door sealed shut with a heavy-duty electronic lock. There's a lock on the door with a holographic image displayed on a rectangular screen. The face of some woman I've never seen before is pictured on its surface. That frown she's wearing makes me scared to tamper with the lock. The strange contraption covering one of her eyes in the picture, could it be the same as my own? Perhaps she could be the one behind everything that's happened to me. I just have to ask her when I find her, and hope I don't have to use the restroom in the meantime. Is the server room the same? It's open. I'll take a quick look inside. At least the servers are still in place. I'll take a quick look at my work terminal.
Impossible.
Of course, there's another bloody lock on this one. This time keeping the whole thing shut inside its cabinet. Why am I not surprised? Let's use second ownership of this share of my daily life. The picture on the front is... Huh? Me? I'm pictured here with an opaque blue monocle of some kind over one eye, but otherwise it's clearly me. But even recognizing that, how do I unlock it? I know it. I began to play with the lock, looking for some knob or hole. As my thumb slides over the screen,
Fingerprint recognized.
fingerprint scan completed. Welcome, Victor Leeds.
Very well.
He scanned my thumb for just now when I handed the face out the lock. I understand the mechanism now. This one's coded to me. That means that my room is locked to the fingerprint of someone other than myself. It makes no bloody sense. It looks like all of my research files are still intact. There's only one part that concerns me. Files have been added. Their dates are the future. This can't be right. This data reads like observation logs of the numerous killing games 3 months past the present date. What the fuck? It's all nonsense. I don't have time to read this.
Impossible.
There's a mastermind behind all of this, and certainly they planted this here with no intent other than to confuse me. The woman pictured on the lock to my room must be around here somewhere. I'll find her and get some answers. Unless they also took our memories, in which we think it's still the present day when it's actually the future, I think. The first thing I need to do is leave the laboratory. If she isn't here, the forest is the only other place she could have gone. Finding her will be no easy. Task? Oh, sup. I just spoke the last part out loud in disbelief. The flesh and blood vision of the woman pictured on that holographic screen is in front of me. Her frown is just as unpleasant as I'd imagined. She's also a bit taller than I figured. Perhaps it's just the hair? No, I think she's slightly taller than I am. Even beyond the glass covering her eye, she's dressed much like I am, with a similar lab coat. A scientist of some sort? You're finally awake then. Good morning, Victor Lees. My name is Maya Xavier.
I am the ultimate research assistant, but that does not make you my superior.
Now that's just weird. He's all about research and you're the ultimate research assistant, so he should be the superior. Just saying. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to your own twisted experiment. My own experiment?
Now see here.
A facsimile of my laboratory may be the setting for whatever this is, but I am not responsible. The cameras, locks, and whatever other strange contrivances may have been added are not mine. I woke up only a moment ago, very much in the dark about anything that's happening here. This is honestly hilarious. Let me ask you, what if I told you you've been trapped? That your and my very reaction is going to be observed like that of a lab rat? What would you want to do to your captor? Well, I would first want answers, but also to admonish them sternly for impeding my work. I thought you might say something like that. Whoever decided to put you and me through this is a real piece of work, huh? Unfortunately, as I said a moment ago, it's you. You're the one who decided to place yourself inside this experiment.
Impossible.
I most certainly did not. I don't know a single detail of this experiment you're mentioning, nor would I ever offer myself as a test subject. It goes against all laws of researcher impartiality for starters, and beyond that, it's just asinine. Are you suggesting this is somehow tied to my research of the killing games? Confidential research, mind you.
Of course.
I do wish you'd quit making me repeat myself. Yeah, you're inside an experiment designed by yourself, the ultimate researcher. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at yourself. This is a huge inconvenience for me too. These ultimate schemes of yours are going to make me lose my hair. But it looks to me you're... well, it looks to me as if you're in no danger of that. You've got quite a stack after all. Arguing with her is proving pointless. It's obvious there's a lot of the two of us to go over. I have so many questions, it's hard to decide where to start. Oh shit, I think I should end here. I have to go somewhere today. I know it's a weekend, right? But I don't know why. I'm doing a lot this weekend. So many stuff. I'm like, why? I should be playing these games, but I can't because I don't know. There's a boom in the family outing and shit. I don't know. So yeah, this is Danganronpa, single file. So what I think is this guy Victor's like, okay, time to do the experiment on myself. I'm gonna remove my memories. Let's see how I react and shit. While I have my ultimate research assistant observe and shit, all that crap, you know, for research purposes. This is all done by Victor. Anyway, if you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. You know why I've never seen this game before in my entire life? Is because whenever I type Danganronpa on itch.io, this game never showed up. Like, why? Is it hidden? Why would you hide it? How is anybody supposed to play this game if you hide the game? Like, why even post it in the first place if you're not gonna let other people play it? It's weird. I don't know. Or maybe you're unaware that it's hidden. So yeah, I guess now you know. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.